This is what rebel desperation looks like during the Aleppo nights, firing at jets in the skies, unable to stop them from dropping their deadly load. And this is what the rebels' defeat looks like when daylight comes. Thousands of civilians fleeing the old town of Aleppo only hours after government forces took most of it back. Among them, Najua, with her 7 children, one of them her baby, Bilal. When we left, there was a lot of shelling behind us, a lot of shooting in front of us, and the airplanes above us, she says. We barely managed to get out. Most seem weak and malnourished, some resting, finally in safety in this former school. The smallest, a baby girl, Ghazal, is only 7 days old, born right as the battles were at their worst.
It's really remarkable, some of the scenes that we're witnessing here. Hundreds of people have already come across the border crossing between eastern and western Aleppo, and many of them are taking shelter in buildings like this one, carrying only the very few possessions they could take as they fled.
Soldiers take us to the places they recaptured from opposition forces only hours before. We see Syrian troops evacuating weak and elderly, and rebel barricades showing just how intense the fighting was.
Just look at all the destruction here. We're actually in the old town of Aleppo right now, and this entire area until a few days ago was right on the front line.
While this may not be the end of the opposition's fight in Aleppo, many of those fleeing describe the rebels' morale sinking and the harrowing conditions in the besieged areas. We didn't have food and barely any bread, this man says. We were 8 people. They would only give us 2 loaves of bread every 2 days. That was it for all of us. While much of eastern Aleppo has been reduced to rubble, the one thing expanding was the cemeteries. This one ran out of space as the bodies kept coming. Now that much of eastern Aleppo has changed hands, Syrian soldiers plant their flag on the ruins of the place they've just conquered. For Pleitgen, CNN, Aleppo.